It's 11:30 p.m. on a Sunday. You're lying in bed, the blue light of your phone washing over your face, and you're doing that thing we all do but hate to admit. You're checking your bank balance. You swipe up, you wait for that little spinning circle to load, and yeah, it's lower than you thought it would be. You didn't buy a yacht this weekend. You didn't gamble it away in Vegas. You just lived. You went out for dinner on Friday because you felt like you deserved it. You grabbed those overpriced coffees on Saturday morning because you needed the energy. You paid for that subscription you forgot you even had, and you filled up your gas tank, which, by the way, felt like a minor heart attack in itself, and somehow, in the span of just a few days, a significant chunk of your paycheck just evaporated. It's this quiet, panicky feeling, isn't it? Like you're trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom, and no matter how many hours you work, the water level never seems to rise. My name is Bob, and I spend way too much time thinking about money, financial psychology, and why some people seem to glide through their 20s building a solid foundation for wealth while others, smart, capable people, just stay stuck in this cycle of working hard and having nothing to show for it. And here's the thing I've realized after staring at thousands of spreadsheets and hearing hundreds of stories. It's rarely the big decisions that ruin you. It's not the house you haven't bought yet or the car you're dreaming about. It's the invisible, small, socially acceptable things that nobody warns you about, the stuff that society tells you is normal for a 20-something. If you can just cut out these 5 specific things, spend literally $0 on them for the next few years, you won't just save money. You'll completely change the trajectory of your life. It sounds dramatic, I know, but the math is undeniable, and the psychology behind it is even more powerful. So, let's dive in. I want to walk you through the 5 things you need to stop spending money on right now, and more importantly, why we spend on them in the first place. Okay, I need to start here because this is the single biggest wealth killer for people in their 20s. I'm talking about financing a brand new or slightly used car that you absolutely cannot afford simply because you think is what you're supposed to do as an adult. We've all seen it. You get your first real job. Maybe you're making $40,000, $50,000, which feels like a fortune compared to your college budget, and you think, okay, time to upgrade. You walk into a dealership, or worse, you start scrolling online, and you convince yourself that a $500 monthly car payment is normal. You tell yourself it's reliable. You tell yourself it's safe. You tell yourself you deserve it because you work hard. But let's be honest for a second. A huge chunk of that decision is ego. It's about pulling up to your friend's house or the office parking lot and not feeling less than. It's about the look of the car. And I get it. I love a nice car as much as anyone else. The smell of a new interior, the feel of the wheel, the way it drives, it's a great experience. But here is the brutal truth that nobody at the dealership is ever going to tell you. A car is not an asset. It is a depreciating appliance. The moment you sign that paper and drive it off the lot, it loses value. And if you financed it with a high interest rate because you had little to no credit history, you are effectively paying a stupid tax every single month for the privilege of watching your money disappear. Let's look at the numbers because they don't lie, even if our feelings do. Let's say you buy a car for $35,000. You put down a small amount, maybe $2,000 or $3,000, and you finance the rest over 6 or 7 years. Your payment is $550 a month. Insurance for a young driver in a nice car, that's another $150. Easy guess, because these cars usually don't have the best fuel economy. Let's say $150 a month. Maintenance, tires, oil changes, the weird things that break when the warranty runs out. You are easily looking at $900 a month. $900 every single month. For a metal box that gets you from point A to point B. Now, imagine instead that you bought a reliable, ugly, boring used car for $5,000 in cash. Maybe it's a 2010 Toyota Corolla. It's got some dings. The hubcaps are missing. Who cares? Runs, your payment drops to zero. Your insurance drops to like $60 a month. Your gas bill drops because it's a four-cylinder. You have just freed up, conservatively, $700 a month. If you took that $700 and just put it into a boring index fund, or even just a high-yield savings account, and you did that for the 5 or 6 years you would have been paying off that nice car. Do you know how much money you'd have? We're talking over $50,000, assuming a modest return. That's a down payment on a house. That's the start of a retirement portfolio. That is freedom, but it goes deeper than just the money. When you tie yourself to a massive car payment in your 20s, you handcuff yourself. You can't take that risk on a new job that pays less equity but has more upside because you need that paycheck to cover the car. You can't move to a cooler city or a better apartment because the debt-to-income ratio is too high. You are stuck, and all for the sake of an image. So spend $0 on financing a lifestyle car. Drive the beater. Embrace the beater. It's not a sign of poverty. It's a badge of honor that says you are playing the long game while everyone else is playing a game they can't win. This one is insidious because it's quiet. It doesn't feel like spending money. It feels like paying bills. I'm talking about the stack of subscriptions that you have accumulated over the years without even realizing it. Think about it. You've got Netflix, probably Hulu, maybe HBO Max because you needed to watch one show 6 months ago and never canceled it. You have Spotify for music, maybe Apple Music too because why not? You're paying for a gym membership that you haven't used since January. There's Amazon Prime, that monthly Razor subscription, the subscription box for snacks, the cloud storage for photos you never look at, the premium tier of YouTube. It feels like pocket change, right? Oh, it's just $10 a month. It's just $15 a month. But that is exactly how they get you. The psychology behind subscription models is brilliant because they rely on frictionless payment. You don't feel the pain of parting with money because it happens automatically. You don't physically hand over cash. You don't even swipe a card. It's just invisible. Let's do a quick audit. Most people I talk to, when they actually sit down and list every recurring monthly charge, find that they're spending between $100 and $300 a month on stuff. Digital stuff, things they don't even use. That is $1,200 to $3,600 a year. Vanished. Gone. And what do you have to show for it? Nothing. You haven't built equity. You haven't improved your health. You've just binged watched 5 seasons of a show you don't even remember that well. Here's the hard truth. You do not need 5 streaming services. You need 1, maybe 2, and you can rotate them. Watch everything you want on Netflix for 2 months. Cancel it. Switch to Hulu for 2 months. It's not that hard. You don't need a $100 a month gym membership if you're just going to run on the treadmill. Run outside. It's free. The air is better anyway. You don't need cloud storage. Buy a hard drive once and back it up. The action item here is simple but painful. You need to go through your statements and cancel everything. Keep the essentials, your phone, your internet, and ruthlessly cut the rest. If there's a service you use once a month, don't pay a monthly sub. Pay for it only when you use it. This is leakage in your financial boat, and it's sinking you slowly. Plug the holes. Imagine taking that $200 a month and throwing it at your student loans or investing it. It changes the math of your entire decade. Stop being a passive consumer of your own life. Take back control. This is going to sound harsh, and it might sting a little bit, but we have to talk about it. In your 20s, there is this immense pressure to be social, to say yes to everything. The bachelorette parties in Vegas, the destination weddings, the weekend trips to Cabo, the expensive dinners where everyone splits the check evenly, even though you only had a salad and water while they had steak and 3 rounds of cocktails. I call this the social tax. It is the money you spend solely To maintain your status in a group or to avoid the awkwardness of saying I can't afford that. And look, friendships are important. Experiences are important. But there is a difference between investing in relationships and bankrupting yourself to impress people who, frankly, might not even be that good of friends. We've all been there. You get the invite. Hey, we're doing a weekend getaway for Sarah's birthday. It's going to be $400 for the airbnb, plus food, plus drinks, plus transport. You look at your bank account. You know you shouldn't go, but the fear of missing out, that ancient, primal tribal fear, is strong. You think, if I don't go, I'll be left out. They'll stop inviting me. I'll be the loser who stayed home. So you put it on a credit card. You swipe the card, and you tell yourself, I'll worry about it later. But later never comes. The debt just stacks up. Here's the perspective shift you need. True friends do not want you to go into debt to hang out with them. If the foundation of your friendship is based on how much money you can spend together, it's not a friendship, it's a spending club. You need to be okay with being the person who says no. You need to be okay with missing out. It is liberating, honestly. When you stop spending money to keep up with a social calendar that doesn't serve you, you find out who your real